the voter ID requirement you keep talking about, it doesn't ban states from requiring it. It just says that they have to also let voters, if they don't have ID, sign sworn affidavits under oath testifying.
Oh, what's possibly could happen with that? This is a joke. The reason they're trying to stop, I am willing, and I'm sure Henry would be too. If you don't have a driver's, we'll give everybody an ID. I don't want to put a burden on anybody. If you don't have an ID, we will get you one so you can vote. So this is eroding the voter identification requirement. What's wrong with asking people to have an ID to prove you are who you are when you vote? You have to have it when you go to the airport. And Democrats are talking about a vaccine passport. They're wanting you to have a document to prove you've had a vaccine to be able to conduct business in the country and to travel, but they don't want you to be able to prove you are who you are. So it's pretty obvious to me this is not about voter integrity, it's about power grab.
Last question right here.
Could you explain the ramming up cancel culture bullet point?
I don't know that one. I'll read that one, yeah. I think that's got a lot to do with Georgia. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the 12 things they gave me I didn't mention. I don't even know what it means myself. But I don't need to get past voter ID. I don't need to get past redistricting and ballot harvesting. Those are the guts of this thing. Taking away the power of the states to draw the state lines is devastatingly bad for South Carolina because we're growing. Doing away with voter ID is bad for the integrity of the ballot box. And mail-in voting on a mass scale where you get the ballot where you want it or not is ripe for fraud, and ballot harvesting is just an absolute nightmare. And I don't like the idea of a 6-to-1 federal government match for every dollar you raise as a candidate. That's enough for me.
Thank you, everyone. One more question.
For both of y'all, Southern Poverty Law Center says H.R. 1 would roll back discriminatory practices that have harmed voters and citizens of color for decades.
That is nonsense. That's nonsense. This is dangerous. It will destroy the system of elections. If there's anyone out there who does not want Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to be in charge of their lives, then you don't want to support this. If this passes into law, just to put a face on it, you will have those two individuals and those who think just like they do, and the rest of the radicals will be in charge of your lives. Because the people that will get elected are the people who will be agreeing with them.
If I could just put a fine point on it. You know, I voted for Senate criminal justice reform, the First Step Act. There are a lot of African American and Hispanic men who've been put in jail for a very long time because of 3 strikes and outlaw. If there are certain parts of this country, your chance to encounter the cops is greater than other places. Your economic situation has a lot to do with whether or not you're going to be exposed to crime. That's just a fact. I'd like to change systems. I was working with Senator Scott to do something about police reform. At the end of the day, they're calling all of us racist because we won't give in to this power grab. They play the race card morning, noon, and night. I am tired of it. I think it's cheap. I think it's sick for the President of the United States, Joe Biden, who's been a friend for years, to say that what they're doing in Georgia is Jim Crow 2.0. Some of you have got families that lived through Jim Crow, where people were beaten, deterred from voting, poll taxes, literacy test, institutional efforts to keep black people from voting. The highest voter participation in the country in the last election. And I'm proud of that. I want every eligible voter to be able to vote, but I want you to do it in a way that we have confidence in the results. So playing the race card is not going to work here. To Major League Baseball, you don't know what you're talking about. You're moving the all-star game that has less voting opportunities in Colorado than they will in Georgia. This is not going to work. Our friends in Georgia are revamping their voting system in a way that makes sense to me, requiring a voter identification even if you do mail-in balloting. Bottom line here, folks, this is an effort by the left to paint any opposition, Southern Poverty Law Center included, to H.R. 1 to equate that you're a racist. It is not going to work. This is 2021. Count me in for robust voting. Count me in for everybody being able to vote. but I want to make sure they do it without cheating. And that's what this is about.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.